Good evening, Your Excellency, President Constantinescu, ambassadors, dear friends, Dr. Darar, Dr. Muhammad Katata, our moderator. Well, it is really an honor for me to be among you today to speak about a subject that is of a very high concern to all ourselves and all our countries. This is the strange times that the world we live in is more connected than ever before. However, in many ways, as human beings, we couldn't be more disconnected. But with hope, we will reconnect and will realize we are all the same. We are all one. We are facing a common challenge. We need to be truly and honestly connected. COVID-19 is a truly global challenge that did have far-reaching political and economical impacts in all the world's regions. This caused immense suffering for all countries that put in jeopardy any gains that had been made and had implications across the different regions. We even have witnessed that the vacuum created by the lack of wisdom of governance sometimes have exacerbated cycles of intercommunal violence. As for the impact on diplomacy, from one hand, the pandemic has clearly and tremendously affected the traditional and the accustomed diplomatic activities. But on the other hand, had proven how vital the diplomatic role is on the regional and international multilateral levels. There are some subjects and traditional diplomatic activities that were strongly affected. However, there are new subjects that became more active and dynamic. We have all seen that diplomatic missions had assumed many unexpected assignments in the crisis time, like, for example, solving the problems of their nationals who got stuck in different foreign countries and could not return back to their countries due to procedures taking our medical measures or lack of transportation means. Also have seen diplomatic missions securing basic commodities and urgently needs of medical supplies with its scarcity because of the excess international demand. Some countries have witnessed this year electoral process for different constitutional elections. It was the diplomatic mission's responsibility towards their communities abroad to allow them, and facing these challenges, to allow them to practice their constitutional voting rights while taking precautions to protect their health and abide by the local procedures in the guest countries. The pandemic have reiterated that the change of the world to the digital world is essential and becoming a de facto of our diplomatic life in the post-COVID era. But also the crisis affirmed the true importance and need of traditional diplomatic ways, and that they are irreplaceable in diplomacy. There are no replacements for the direct human dealing and contacts, which is considered the basic principles of the diplomatic world. And that the assignment of the diplomat, wherever he is accredited to, cannot be perfectly conducted only from behind computer screens or holding of a mobile phone. Medical and health cooperation in the field of inventing, producing, and fairly distributing the right effective vaccines among all countries affected across the world is becoming essential, and it needs a lot of negotiations done by the missions. The increase of health awareness among peoples of the world is also becoming essential, and it needs someone to transfer all the updates of all the countries in the world so that we learn from the experience or to avoid the mistakes. These are some simple insights about the COVID-19 pandemic and diplomacy. There is a lot to be said. The only thing that I could conclude with is that we are really in need of cooperation. It is vital for all the challenges facing all our countries and all the world. I thank you for your attention, and thank you very much for inviting me for such an important gathering.